in the Cotswolds, in the High Cotswolds it's called, and the water is fairly hard around here. It's not the hardest water I've come across, but it is quite hard water around this area. It's just my wife and myself live in the house. Yeah. At the moment, we've just got a bathroom, a kitchen, and a toilet down the back by the utility room that's on the back of the garage. But we're just about to start knocking down and rebuilding the place, and then we're going to have 3 ensuite bathrooms, a main bathroom, a utility room, a toilet in a similar position to where it is now, and on the back of the garage, and maybe even a sink in the garage. We're not sure about that. And the heating system will again be the air source heat pump. We've also got solar hot water on the roof, and solar PV on the roof on the end of the house. So we're doing what we can to save the planet. When we first moved into the house, there was a salt unit that was meant to soften the water. However, it was probably about 40 years old. It was a massive copper tank. It was full of gunge and horrible, and it had various levers that you were meant to rotate to back flush it and do all sorts of things. And it just didn't do anything. So we took that out not long after we moved in, which created a big cupboard down the back of the house. I wasn't in favour having another salt unit because the way the water is in this house, there was no separate supply to the kitchen. So I wanted something other than a saltwater system to try and alleviate the problem of the calcium buildup. We've been in houses where we'd had the copper wire around the copper pipe leading into the house, and they hadn't worked. I've seen the magnetic ones, and they hadn't worked. So when I came across this unit, I thought, let's give it a go. Where did I come across Halcyan? I was at a trade fair. I'm an electrician, and I was there with a plumber, and it was on one of the stands, and we got talking to the young lady there, and I decided that I would give it a go. When did we install it? It's hard to remember, but it's got to be at least 4, maybe 5 years ago. I didn't actually fit it. I work with a company who are plumbing and heating engineers. I'm an electrician, and we've done a lot of heat pumps together. So I was lucky that Pete, who runs the company, got Ollie, one of his plumbers, to come and fit it, and it was very simple. Just cut a section of pipe out and put it in to replace that section of pipe. Very simple to do. What was I hoping for? I was just hoping that we used to get a build-up under the taps, where the water came under the taps and things like that. And I was hoping that we could get rid of that, which it seems to have done. I was hoping that I wouldn't get the build-up in the hot water cylinder. I've seen the hot water cylinders that were taken out of various houses, and they're just chock-a-block with calcium and so on. So I was hoping to do that. When we actually get round to renewing the system in here, my intention is to look inside the existing one and hopefully do some filming of that to see what's going on inside there, because that would be very interesting. So yeah, I was hoping to stop the clogging up of the kettle and the taps and things like that, and the shower head, which always used to get quite a lot of build up on it. I think the main reason that I didn't want salt was for the health reasons. I didn't want to introduce salt into my water system. I didn't want the complication of having to have a separate tap in the kitchen to use for drinking water. The house as we bought it didn't have that, even though it had a salt system. It didn't have a separate supply for the kitchen. So yeah, I think for me it was the health benefits of not introducing salt into my water system. We don't use salt in cooking, so to be in our water system, I've never had a salt system that worked. As I said, when we first came here, we had one, but it didn't work. So it just doesn't appeal to me to have a salt system. You've got to top it up with salt. You've got to do something. And in this country, we're not very good at maintenance of our houses. At the best of times, a house in you fit and forget. It's a fit and forget system, isn't it? It goes in there, and hopefully you'll see improvements as we have done. But I don't have to do anything to it. So therefore, the system's always working for me. I thought that the water might feel softer, but it doesn't actually feel any different to me. I don't, when you go to an area where it's got very soft water and you spend hours in the shower trying to wash your hair, not me, but the ladies trying to wash their hair, spend hours. It's not like that. Well, I mean, the biggest thing for us, I think, is the main place that we notice it is in the kettle, because the limescale does not build up like it used to. It used to get really solid in there, and it's very difficult to get out. The filters in the kettle just clogged up, and you couldn't clean them. Whereas with this system, the build-up is nowhere near as bad inside the kettle. And what little you get in there, you can flush out and clean out. And when you take the filter out, you can actually rub off the build-up on the filter and wash it out and put it back in again, which we've never been able to do before. Before, we basically had to discard the filter because they just clog up and stop the kettle working properly. Whereas this system, we can have the filter. In the bottom of the kettle, you can actually see it kind of floating in the water, the residue that's left. So you can wash that out fairly easily. The shower I was going to say curtain, not the shower door. We've got a glass shower door. That doesn't get the build-up on it, the white build-up that we used to get. We do wipe it down, but even so, we used to get a build-up on the shower door, which we don't get now. And the shower unit, the bar, stays clean. It doesn't build up with calcium, and also the flexible pipes that go up, they normally get fairly manky as well. But yeah, no, that stays clean as well. And also we've got a shower head that reduces the amount of water you use. And before, our shower heads used to clog up, and this one's got very fine holes in it. So if it was going to clog up, it would clog that up, but it stays clean. So from that point of view, I'm pleased with it. You've got a unit that big that's in line in the pipe, and I said, hey, it's fit and forget. You don't have to ever get back to it to change it. So I think the benefits of having it where you don't have to maintain it, because we're really rubbish at that in the UK, maintaining anything. I don't have to call out an engineer because it's there. It took 10-15 minutes for Ollie to fit it for me, and it's been working ever since. So as I say, it's a fit and forget system. I don't have to maintain it. I don't have to do anything with it, and it will keep working for many years to come. yes, I would. I would say try it. Try it. See if it works. If it doesn't work for you, okay, use the system to give it back. But yeah, for me, it has definitely done something. It's improved the quality of our water system. Very hard to quantify, as I said before, but yeah, I think it's a good idea. A good idea.